Have you ever felt the sting of silence from your child? The awkward, uncomfortable silence that fills the room when you try to speak but are met with nothing but indifference? It's a feeling we've all experienced at some point in our lives. And let's be honest, it hurts. It feels like a rejection, like the one person you care about most, the one you've poured all your love and effort into, is simply turning away from you. You try to reason with them, to talk to them, but they don't listen. They ignore your every word. The harder you try, the more they retreat. It's as though you're invisible, or worse, irrelevant. What do you do when your children don't respect you and completely ignore you? How do you handle this situation without losing your mind or your sense of self? Well, you're not alone. You might think it's just you, but this is a common struggle that many parents face. It's frustrating, and it can make you feel powerless. But here's the good news. There is a way to handle this. It doesn't require yelling or punishment. In fact, it requires the opposite, something much harder: staying calm and collected. Now, you might be thinking, how can I stay calm when I'm being ignored by my own child? The truth is, it's incredibly difficult, but it is also the most effective way to create positive change. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, believed that the way we respond to difficult situations shapes our relationships and our personal growth. So, if you're feeling disrespected and ignored, it's important to pause and reflect on your response. What you do next will set the tone for your relationship moving forward. Imagine this. You're sitting at the dinner table, and your child is glued to their phone. You've asked them to put it away and engage with the family, but they don't listen. They just keep scrolling, barely acknowledging your presence. You feel that familiar frustration building up. The urge to yell, to demand respect, rises within you. But instead of reacting, you take a deep breath. You focus on staying calm. Why? Because your response is going to teach your child something more valuable than any lecture or punishment ever could. Staying calm doesn't mean you let your child get away with disrespect. It means you handle the situation with composure and self-awareness. Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." What he meant by this is that, as parents, we often react to our children based on our own insecurities, fears, and frustrations. But when we stop letting those emotions control us, we can engage with our children in a more meaningful way. So, instead of yelling or getting upset, you choose a different path. You approach the situation with curiosity, not confrontation. You ask yourself, why is my child ignoring me? What are they feeling? What might be going on beneath the surface? Jung believed that every behavior, especially one as disruptive as ignoring a parent, comes from a deeper psychological need or desire. When your child is ignoring you, they may be trying to assert their independence, or they might be struggling with something emotional that they haven't yet expressed. They're not necessarily being disrespectful on purpose. They may just not know how to communicate their feelings. This is where your role as a parent comes in. Instead of taking the behavior personally, you can choose to be the calm presence that provides understanding. Imagine your child is like an iceberg. Most of their behavior, the surface-level disrespect, the ignoring, the silence, is just the tip. Beneath the surface, there are emotions and thoughts that need to be addressed. So, instead of reacting to the iceberg's tip, you need to go deeper. You sit down and speak calmly, not demanding respect, but offering it. "I've noticed you've been distant lately. You say, your tone steady, your eyes soft. Is there something on your mind? I'm here to listen whenever you're ready. You might be surprised at what happens next. Your child may not open up right away, but they'll recognize that you're not reacting with anger or frustration. They see that you're not trying to control them. You're trying to understand them. That small shift in your approach can make all the difference. But what if they continue to ignore you? What if they don't open up right away, no matter how calm you are? It can be discouraging, but don't give up. The key is consistency. Carl Jung also talked about the importance of being consistent in your behavior, especially in relationships. This means not giving in to frustration or giving up when things don't improve immediately. Staying calm and consistent in your response allows your child to feel safe and secure. It teaches them that their feelings are valid and that there's a space for them to be heard. Over time, this will break down the walls they've built. They may begin to trust you more, and the ignoring behavior will decrease. In these moments, it's also crucial to reflect on your own emotions. Jung emphasized the importance of self-awareness. Before you engage with your child, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What am I projecting onto my child? If you're feeling disrespected or hurt, that's okay. Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them dictate your actions. Instead of allowing anger or hurt to cloud your judgment, channel those emotions into a calm, thoughtful response. It's easy to slip into the habit of reacting out of frustration, especially when your child is ignoring you. But reacting with anger or frustration will only create more distance between you. When you stay calm, you model emotional regulation, and that is one of the most important lessons you can teach your child. So, what can you do when your child ignores you? You stay calm, you stay curious, and you stay consistent. This doesn't mean you're passive or weak. On the contrary, it takes a great deal of strength to respond with calmness instead of reacting with anger or frustration. But the results are powerful. By choosing to respond calmly, you're teaching your child how to navigate difficult emotions, how to communicate effectively, and how to treat others with respect. If you ever feel like you're failing, remember this: you are not alone. Parenting is hard. But by staying calm and using Carl Jung's principles of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and consistent behavior, you'll create a space where your child can feel safe enough to open up and engage with you. Just think, with each moment of calmness, you not only building a better relationship with your child, you also growing as a person. You're learning to be more patient, more understanding, and more emotionally resilient. And that is something that will last long after the silence has passed. As you continue to practice calmness in the face of your child's indifference, something unexpected begins to happen. The tension starts to fade. Slowly, the silence isn't as deafening. You notice your child's behavior shifting, almost imperceptibly at first, but the change is there. They start to acknowledge you more, not with the immediate warmth of respect, but with curiosity. They notice you're not reacting the way they expect, and something in them begins to shift as well. At first, they might test the waters, slightly engaging, but then pulling back again. It's almost like a little dance, a way of feeling out whether your calmness is real, whether your patience is genuine. This is where consistency becomes your ally. Stay calm, stay steady, and resist the urge to become frustrated. Just as a child tests boundaries, they are now testing you. They want to see if you'll stick to your word, if you'll continue to show up with the same unwavering calmness. It's in these moments of testing that you will realize the power of emotional consistency. When you consistently show up as a calm, composed parent, your child begins to trust that you won't overreact. This sense of safety is crucial for their emotional development. They know that no matter what, they can come to you without the fear of judgment or unnecessary conflict. Carl Jung also wrote about the concept of projection, the idea that we often project our inner conflicts, emotions, and unresolved issues onto others, especially those closest to us. As a parent, you may unknowingly project your frustrations and insecurities onto your child's behavior. If you feel rejected or dismissed, it's natural to interpret their silence as a personal attack. But when you step back and choose not to react impulsively, you create space for yourself to reflect. You can ask, am I projecting my feelings onto this situation, or is this truly about what my child is doing? This reflection doesn't just change how you handle the situation in the moment. It changes how you see your child and how they see you. You're not just dealing with behavior anymore. You're engaging with a deeper emotional exchange. You're teaching them that respect isn't just given when demanded. It's earned through empathy, understanding, and communication. And guess what? Your child starts to feel that respect as well. They might not come to you and thank you immediately for your calmness, but they'll begin to feel safer and more understood. As they see you working to understand them, truly understand them, they begin to understand themselves better too. The cycle of mutual respect starts to form. But there will be times when you feel like you're not making any progress. The silence still lingers and the frustration starts creeping in again. When this happens, remember Jung's teachings about the importance of self-integration. What he meant was that the more you are able to integrate your feelings, your thoughts, and your emotions in a healthy way, the more you can connect with others on a deeper level. When your child pushes you away, it can be easy to feel hurt or rejected, but these feelings don't need to control you. Instead, you can use them as a tool for growth, for learning to manage your emotions, and for becoming the kind of parent you want to be. You might also notice something interesting. As you maintain your calm demeanor, your child might start modeling your behavior. Children are incredibly perceptive. They're watching not just what you do, but how you do it. When they see you managing your emotions in a healthy way, they may begin to mirror that behavior. Maybe they won't start expressing their feelings right away, but over time, they may begin to deal with their frustrations in healthier ways. This is the power of calmness in parenting. It's not about being perfect or having all the right answers. It's about showing up, day after day, with the same emotional maturity and consistency. It's about modeling behavior that your child can learn from and creating an environment where both of you can grow together. As time passes, your relationship with your child will evolve. The emotional distance that once seemed so vast will begin to close. They will begin to approach you, not just when they need something, but because they've learned that your calm presence is a place of comfort. They will start coming to you with their thoughts, their frustrations, and even their joys. And when they do, you'll be there, not to judge or fix, but to listen with an open heart. Jung often said that the most important thing is to find the courage to understand yourself. And in parenting, this is one of the greatest challenges you'll face. When you understand your own emotions, your triggers, and your patterns, you can show up in a way that is calm, loving, and firm when necessary. You can be the kind of parent who helps their child navigate life's challenges without resorting to anger or frustration. As your child begins to respond to your emotional maturity, you'll find that respect naturally follows. It doesn't come from force or fear. It comes from understanding, patience, and a willingness to meet them where they are. So, when your child ignores you, instead of reacting, take a moment to breathe. Ask yourself, how can I respond to this in a way that promotes understanding and growth? This question, when asked consistently, will guide you through the hardest moments of parenting with grace and patience. It's not easy, but the results are worth it. In the end, your calmness becomes your greatest tool. It's not just about getting your child to listen or respect you in the moment. It's about building a relationship that lasts a lifetime, a relationship founded on trust, mutual respect, and emotional understanding. Over time, your child may start to exhibit small changes. The wall of silence might crack just a little, then more and more. They may ask you about your day, share something from school, or even express frustration things they might have previously kept to themselves. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it is an indication that the calm energy you've been radiating is beginning to have an effect. But as you continue this journey, there will be times when the silence returns. It can be easy to fall back into the old pattern of thinking, "What did I do wrong? Why are they still ignoring me?" But it's crucial to remember that change takes time. Just like any process of growth, emotional development is a slow and steady journey. In these moments of doubt, reflect on the progress that's already been made. Even the smallest signs, like a brief glance or a simple word, are victories. They show that the connection is being rebuilt, one conversation at a time. You will start to notice that your child's avoidance isn't as personal as it once felt. It's not about rejecting you. It's about them finding their own space, learning to navigate their own emotions, and learning to communicate their thoughts, even if that means silence for a while. And remember, Carl Jung's concept of the shadow can provide insight into these silent moments. The shadow is the part of ourselves that we repress, the emotions and thoughts that we're not fully aware of. Sometimes, our children's behavior reflects their own unresolved issues or frustrations that they're unable to express clearly. When they ignore us, it might not even be about us. It might be about them struggling with their own internal conflict. Instead of seeing their silence as rejection, see it as an opportunity to help them work through their emotions in a non-judgmental space. In those moments, it's essential not to project your own feelings of neglect or frustration onto their actions. Instead, recognize that your child might be carrying something deeper that they haven't yet figured out how to express. The more you stay calm, the more likely it is that they'll come to you when they're ready to talk. There will also be times when your child will need their space, and that's okay too. It's important to respect their boundaries, just as you hope they will respect yours. Children, especially as they grow older, often need time to process their own feelings, especially when they're going through phases of emotional turmoil or adolescence. During these times, your ability to stay calm and give them that space will be key to maintaining a healthy relationship. Jung's teachings on emotional maturity aren't just about reacting to a situation. They're about understanding the deeper motivations behind behaviors, both in yourself and in others. When your child ignores you, it's not about you. It's about what they're going through, even if they're not able to articulate it just yet. Your job isn't to demand answers. It is to provide them with a steady presence that they can return to when they're ready. And even when you feel frustrated, even when the silence stretches on, remember this: you are teaching them something far more valuable than a simple exchange of words. You're teaching them how to manage conflict with calmness, how to deal with difficult emotions without resorting to anger, how to respect others by first respecting themselves. And that is something they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. There will come a time, after many quiet moments, when your child looks at you not with indifference, but with understanding. They'll start to engage with you more freely, not because you demanded it, but because you created a space where they felt safe enough to come back to. They'll start to recognize the value of listening, not just to you, but to themselves. They'll learn how to navigate their own emotions without running away or shutting down. And all of this will happen because you chose calmness over conflict, understanding over anger, and patience over frustration. As this transformation unfolds, you'll begin to see that the respect you longed for wasn't something that could be forced. It wasn't something that could be earned through threats or anger. It was something that grew out of a steady commitment to understanding and patience. It wasn't instant. It didn't happen overnight. But it did happen, and it will continue to grow as long as you stay consistent, calm, and grounded in your responses. Jung said, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents." This is a powerful reminder that the way we respond to our children's behavior is not just about the immediate situation. It is about teaching them how to live their own lives, how to navigate the world, how to grow and evolve as individuals. When we are able to show them the value of emotional maturity, we give them a gift that will last a lifetime. The silence will pass, the walls will come down, and in its place will be a relationship built on understanding, trust, and respect. All because you chose to stay calm, to reflect on your own emotions, and to approach the situation with a heart full of patience and understanding. You're not just parenting, you're building the foundation for your child's emotional future. And that, in itself, is one of the most profound and rewarding things you can do. As time moves forward, you'll notice that the relationship you've been nurturing starts to bloom. The emotional distance that once seemed so vast is now shrinking. The power of staying calm and composed is showing itself, not in dramatic moments, but in the small, consistent exchanges you have with your child. They may not always express it outwardly, but deep down, they are learning to model the same calmness that you've shown them. There will still be challenges along the way. Adolescence can be a turbulent time, and emotional distance can ebb and flow. But the key lies in the strength of your foundation. When you have consistently shown your child that respect is earned through understanding, patience, and calmness, they will carry that lesson with them far beyond childhood. Jung's ideas have always focused on the importance of emotional maturity and self-reflection. In moments when you feel like giving up, remember this: your calmness is not only teaching your child about respect, it is teaching them the power of self-regulation, how to be self-aware, and how to deal with challenges in life with grace and composure. You are giving them the tools to navigate the world with a calm mind, something that will benefit them for the rest of their lives. But here's the catch. While you're guiding your child to understand this, you must first commit to it within yourself. The power of self-regulation, of staying calm when it seems impossible, is something you can practice every single day. You may slip up, you may get frustrated. But what matters most is that you learn to recognize those moments, reset, and choose a different path. The power of a calm response is the key to building long-lasting respect, not just from your child, but within yourself as well. It's not easy. But remember, every moment you stay calm and composed teaches your child that respect is something that is given through understanding, not demanded through force. Every moment of patience teaches them how to handle their own emotional challenges in a healthier, more productive way. If you've ever felt like the silence was too loud to bear, remember that it's simply an invitation for you to show up with even more calmness, more understanding. If you found this perspective valuable, I encourage you to start practicing the power of calmness in your own parenting journey today. It's not always easy, but every time you choose to stay calm in the face of silence, you are building a stronger, more connected relationship with your child. So, the next time you face a moment of frustration or silence, take a deep breath, reflect on your emotions, and choose a response that reflects your true strength. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes both in your relationship and in your own emotional growth. And remember, you're not alone in this. Share your experience in the comments or reach out for support. Let's build a community where we learn, grow, and support each other in this beautiful, challenging journey of parenthood.